Hoki, Dadanastada, Ambawastich, Tanse, and good morning, everyone. If you've been following along in these late stages of getting the city's water service back to regular, you'll know that there are 4 final steps left. That is to fill, it's to flush, it's to test, and it's to stabilize the system. We are not out of the woods yet because the job is not done yet. The feeder main that broke is not back online yet. For those that think the conclusion of the repairs was the all clear for regular water usage, it was not. In fact, right now is the time we need to be very aware of our water usage and do everything we can to save water. Now, unfortunately, that was not the case yesterday. Our usage was at 500 million liters yesterday, the most that we've used since this crisis began, when we asked you to start reducing your water usage by 25%. So that we could ensure we would have water flowing from a single treatment plant to all of our homes and businesses until we could get the feeder main repaired and get our water service back up to regular levels. So let me say this again. The Bearspaw feeder main is not back in service yet. It's still being prepared through those 4 final stages of filling, flushing, testing, and stabilizing. The system that provides water to Calgary, Airdrie, Chestermere, Strathmore, and Tsuut'ina Nation is still in a vulnerable place. In fact, we're only on that first step of filling, which is taking a little bit longer to complete than initially expected. And if things move according to the updated time estimates, the filling process should complete late tonight. When we cautioned that in these final stages we had to take it easy when introducing water back into the system, this is the type of situation we were describing. We have updated timelines that tell us that filling will be complete late tonight. And that's why I have said repeatedly, and I will say it again, we all need to keep reducing our water usage. Now, yesterday I was asked about a report of Calgary being one of the most livable cities in the world, and I told reporters that this is because our people are incredible. We are welcoming and we're compassionate, and that makes Calgary an amazing place to call home. I also said that we do our part to look out for each other. And in these last few weeks of exercising water reduction in our homes and our businesses, it was a great example of that Calgary can-do spirit. We know when we need to band together, especially in an emergency like this one. We are known as a can-do city. We can do difficult things. And we have a legacy of not giving up when times are tough. The folks who came to settle and establish Calgary did not give up when they crossed this great country of ours. The Allied troops, which included 14,000 Canadians, didn't give up when they were storming the beaches of Normandy. Imperial Oil did not give up after drilling 133 dry wells before they hit Leduc number 1. Now, our crews, both the city and contractors, did not give up when they were working around the clock to repair the feeder main in the original break spot as well as the 5 hotspot locations. This city is built on a legacy of people who have embraced that can-do spirit and attitude. Now, some people might think that using a quarter less water is too hard during a water crisis. A 3-minute shower is too high of a bar. That waiting for the dishwasher to be full before turning it on is just a bridge too far. Or not going to the car wash for a few weeks is not something that they can do. Calgary, we have done hard things in the past, and we can do hard things now. Right now, we need your can-do attitude, especially when we are so close to getting the water system back up and running at full capacity. Let me tell you what's happening now as we move towards getting our water system back up and running. I'll start with the news that 16th Avenue will be open to increased traffic today. So that is very good news for businesses and commuters alike. The filling of the repaired feeder main, as I've said, continues today, and it's expected to be completed by late tonight, meaning that water crews expect to be flushing the pipe late tonight and into the morning. If you're in Edworthy Park, you may see pipes and fire hydrants with this flushing water flowing out and into the river. 3 areas of the park will be closed to public access to allow for this work to happen. At the start, the water may look discolored, and this is a normal part of the process as the dirt and the debris from the pipe are washed out. City crews have worked with the province to ensure that we are mitigating the environmental impact of putting dechlorinated water back into the Bow River. Now, if you're planning on rafting down the Bow River this weekend, there's a couple of things to keep in mind. Firstly, make sure that everyone is wearing a life jacket. Secondly, please stay away from the north shore of the Bow River near Edworthy Park, where they are doing the flushing work. Also of note, the river path through Edworthy Park is being detoured, and the North Edworthy Park parking lot will be closed to the public. You can check out calgary.ca for more information about traffic detours and closures in that area. Once the flushing is complete, we move into testing the water that is flowing through the pipe. More information about that testing will be provided by Alberta Health Services this afternoon when we do our 2 p.m. update at the Emergency Operations Centre. Now, as anyone who works with pipelines will know, and there's many of you in our city, this can be a risky stage. That's why during the filling and flushing stages, the pipe is being very closely monitored via a network of sensors. And if anything goes wrong, we have a robust, multi-layered contingency plan in place. I'm hoping we don't need to use any of those contingencies, but I rest a lot easier knowing that we have backup plans in place. I also know that private sector pipeline operators have said that our plans for returning the 2-meter pipe back to regular flow at some points exceeds industry standards, and we are certainly meeting with the type of standards that they would be using. We were able to get that kind of feedback thanks to a peer network of external experts that we've built during this water crisis. Earlier in this emergency, I brought experts to the table from the oil and gas and construction, heavy industry, and pipeline sectors to make sure that nothing was missed in the repair of this essential piece of infrastructure. I knew that with this type of expertise in the city, it would be critical to make sure that our knowledgeable and expert crews at the city were able to liaise with their counterparts in the private sector to make sure that the feeder main could be fixed and brought back up to capacity as safely and as quickly as possible. And that's what we've done. So to repeat, yesterday's 500 million litres used was the most that we have used since the start of this water crisis. And that number is well above the safety threshold of 480 million litres of water that we need to stay under to ensure that we are covered for any emergencies like life-saving measures needed in hospitals or care facilities, as well as having water on hand for Calgary Fire Department. We are heading into a long weekend, and I'd like to remind you that we are not back up to regular operation in this pipe. And so until the pipe and the system are stabilized, we need you to keep finding ways to conserve water. Hold off on the laundry, only run full loads of dishes, capture the water that you're running from the tap, and put a jug or two of water in the fridge so that it'll be cold and you don't have to run the tap. If you're looking to water your outdoor plants even more than what Mother Nature seems to be bringing us, make sure that you are catching rainwater, and you can visit any one of the 7 non-potable water locations to get some more if you need it. You can go to calgary.ca again for information on where those 7 locations for non-potable water are. Now, as the water team is finishing their work to ensure a clean and stable supply of water, we need to keep doing our part to keep our usage down. We have been doing this for 3 weeks, so it should be habits by now. This is easier than it was at the beginning, and I know that you are all going to pull together. I thank you in advance for everything that you're going to keep doing. We will have more information for you on progress that we are making to get the water system restored to regular use. That will come to you today at 2 o'clock at the Emergency Operations Centre. Please join us then. And until then, be well, be good water stewards, and please take care of each other.